and you join us after 9 weeks of no racing here in LDRL. We are back for round 1 of season 3 for the first time in Austria as the season opener. New faces, new cars, and a whole load of new fun on the horizon as we embark on a different LDRL season 3. Now, I know that pre-season didn't tell us anything last week due to the slightly unattentive session, but now we get down to business. It is so good to be back, and ladies and gentlemen, we have rainfall forecast for the start of the race. What a start it is going to be to the season. Absolute chaos incoming as the first car out is a Haas. In the Haas, we've got LSJ Rundle and PFL Solberg. There's a Renault, and we're on board with more islands. It comes out just in front of that new black-looking Mercedes. But it was PFL Solberg first out on track. Going to run through some new broadcast features so we can get to grips with them. We're going to go on board with PFL Solberg and just get you to grips with the sort of 360 degree system when you can look backwards, to the left, to the right, and we're going to try and make the most of that, give you all the angles possible for this season. Also, we're going to have strategy graphics, which probably won't mean anything today with the light rainfall forecast, but it will still be interesting nonetheless to see if anyone really takes inspiration from it or decides to go completely different. We're on board with PFL Solberg, who is out on the soft tyres into the final corner. Pretty wide from the apex, probably didn't carry as much speed as he needed to. My apologies for not enabling the track map, as I think we're getting some traffic in Sector 3. I think there might actually be a spinner. If it was a spinner, it was Moore Island, and he's starting to pick up the pace a little bit now. Welcome if you're joining from Instagram, Discord, you know. So good to have you here. Moore Island is now starting a lap. We'll go back to PFL Solberg though, as he is the first car on track. He is down in none ERS, so I think this is an aborted run. Immortals, he topped pre-season. He's in the Red Bull today. Utah Elephant back, of course. He was having a lovely round of cricket last week, I've been hearing. So very good to have him back. And a very intriguing teammate partnership at Red Bull Racing. The Ferrari slowing down on the right hand side and warming up their tyres as Immortals into turn 4. Decent run through there, twitching the car through turn 5, then it's turn 6. Look at that, lots of outside apex, and PFL Solberg here. 1 minute 7.1. We might see lap times in the 3s. Immortals getting minor slipstream, but I don't think it would have helped him too much as traffic really does build up around here. 6th gear for the penultimate corner. Can he beat LSJ Rundle, who's set a 1 minute 3.8 across the line? He has smashed it by 0.4 of a second. Next up is Moore Island, who has invalidated. We've got KDX Brer. Sorry if I botched the name, but he goes onto the front row. He only joined the lead today, so it's fantastic to have him in at round 1 in the very familiar looking Racing Point. We've got GSR Axe to the top now, so we've still got LSJ Rundle appearing on the screen at the bottom, which is not what we want. Yeah, and there we go, it's updated to Axe. He's in the Williams today. Absent Graham and Fabian, who are taking on the JSC event. Very good luck to them, my former team. Since moved on and remain independent. Rumbly Fungus struggled in some areas at Spain into the final corner. Very, very committed. He's on for a podium today, he tells me, and goes fastest, so very, very encouraging start. The two-time reigning champion, Mr. Boca, I think his previous lap may have been invalidated in the McLaren for the 3rd season running. He is definitely the favourite to win a third consecutive championship in that car. Everything you see today will be uninterrupted. All the on-track action uninterrupted. Why ads? I didn't put those on. Or I didn't deliberately put those on. You just must have got them at the start of the stream or randomly. I haven't run a proper... Yeah. Like I said, there'll be no deliberate interruptions through this live stream. We're watching Moore Island do another lap. PFL Solberg improved to 1 minute 6.4, so I don't think he really got the most out of that second lap, as over the inside curb goes Moore Island, and that will be an invalidation. Echo's Fatality returning for the first time since round 13 of Season 1. It was invalidated 1 minute 14.1. So that is the end of the first lap. Are you streaming on Friday again? It will be Saturday I'm streaming next. Thank you for the questions in the chat as always. We'll be getting on to some questions via Instagram. So a few funny ones and a few genuine questions, which we will get onto as soon as possible as well. We've got Big Chungus in the Renault, who has been watching out for some internet issues, so gotta be careful of him. I think he might be in AI at the moment. Other than that, I hope he's not disconnected, otherwise this will cause a whole host of problems. If it does get in the way on a qualifying lap. Seems to be an AI car in control. I'm not too sure what the issue is there. But everyone is on their second out laps. And while people prepare, we're going to go for some questions on Instagram. Thank you, everyone, for sending them in. We've got Sam Cole, Rumbling Fungus, currently on provisional pole. He says, I'm going to win. Well, if he keeps his head down in the rain that is due at the start of this race, then you never know. He might be able to. Echo's Fatality, who is in the session. Yeah, that's definitely a disconnect. I'll get to that shortly. Echo's Fatality said, Echoes for Tier 7 champion. That's the wrong league. I've only got the one individual tier, which is, there's pros and cons, but mostly cons, as it really wasn't our expectation. I'll get oh sorry, excuse me. Yeah, is the school problem. No, I don't blame school at all for a bit of a tired cough, if you like. But where do we have Big Chungus? We'll actually go on to Xbox and do it. Okay, here we are. GSR Axe actually quickest at the moment, with Rumbly Fungus yet to complete a lap. We're missing all of the qualifying action, and he turns in too early, Rumbly Fungus. Big Chunk is actually back, so we'll have to see second time around if it's fixed itself. GSR Joe, Utah Elephant, says, don't go on board with me a lot. Whenever someone goes to me, I spin. On board with Utah Elephant then, in the middle sector. He's in non-ERS. And this is definitely a cool down lap. Best lap so far, 1:03.6. Let's go back to XR James, who I'm not too sure what's going on with him. We'll pay more attention next time. As Moore Island starting another lap. We've got LSJ Rundle. He has aborted and around at the final corner. Ricochet, no front wing on that black Mercedes. And hopefully they don't have another slightly disappointing race by their standards when we went to Austria for the real-life F1 season. And what a race that was. Hopefully an equally as good season opener virtually in LDRL. Immortal says, podium for me. Fastest in pre-season, as already mentioned. 6,000th behind Ricochet at the moment. But remember that we've got some very, very quick guys leading the way. Skill gap will obviously be a bit bigger this season due to the nature of having to completely change all plans for this season. It's unfortunate, but I think everyone in the league has reacted so well, and I'm very appreciative of that. We've got Moore Island asking, who do you think will be fighting for the... Oh, off again goes Ricochet. It's not a pretty sight. Sorry, Moore Island says, who do you think will be fighting for the championship? Both drivers and constructors. If I have a look at the team chart, Mercedes have a very strong... I'll actually run through, just so everyone's aware. Mercedes have a very familiar partnership in Sam and Ricochet. Very good on and off the track, virtually. Definitely get along well when playing this game. Ferrari, Echo's Fatality and Rumbly Fungus. Echo's Fatality has definitely improved from when we've last seen him. He actually has the same lap time as PFL Solberg, just proving how close this track can get. And Rumbly Fungus has an awful lot of potential, very talented, and is definitely one to watch. If an opportunity comes his way, he'll take it. He's half a tenth up in the first sector. And just look at his traction. He finds it so easy. McLaren, Red Bull, Utah Elephant. Again, another one to have improved on this game, finding axis setups quite comfortable. He's alongside Immortals, who does have a lot of potential, and I've seen some of his potential. Another invalidated lap by Rumbly Fungus, and with only 4 minutes to go in this session, he's got to be on the ball in the final flying lap. Let's go back to XR James. I think this is another lap he's starting, so we'll stay on board with him. He's in the McLaren, and that was the next team I was going to. He partners XR Ryan, who is not here today. I think he's on standby for the JSE event, so again, best of luck. He's solo today, and if he does have a support of a teammate that can get himself into the points, then maybe they'll have a chance at the Constructors' Championship as well, but no. Finally, it all goes his way, and there's no major slip-ups race on race. Then XR James, formerly Mr. Boca, still has that account, I'm pretty sure. Just changed it up for this year, running under name. Oh, I've got to invite Big Chungus. We might have a bit of time just to watch the end of this lap. It might be a bit rude, sorry, but it is the twice I've had to do it, and wide into the final corner. No good qualifying lap so far for XR James, and now we'll invite Big Chungus. And that is complete. Who have we got out on track? Ricochet is starting a lap. Let's continue with the team chart just to get you up to speed with the teams. Renault, GSR, Hamilton, not here today. No reason, unfortunately, behind that one. And Big Chungus. Big Chungus really did improve in the latter stages of last season in Tier 1, getting himself into the lower ends of the points. If he can do that again this season, I'm sure he'll be very happy. Moore Island in the Alpha Tauri. The new look Toro Rosso, effectively. He partners GSR Asian, who's unfortunately sick today, so get well soon, and that partnership lives on. Racing Point, at the moment it's just KDX Brer, who is 7th fastest, and in the mix with Ricochet, Immortals, Rundle. It's so close from 4th to 7th, so For a soloist right now, he's doing a good job. Alfa Romeo, Aronok on 31 and SV Tax. Not a lineup you probably expected, but it's there. All eyes on Aronok to see what sort of results he can deliver. And both Alfa Romeos are out together if we just look behind us. In what does look quite silver murk. It doesn't look very black. It's probably the sun beating down and providing that light effect. Haas, LSJ Rundle, PFL Solberg, they maintain the same lineup. Couple of podiums in this league for Rundle. Solberg has his tracks as well where he can really perform, and then in Williams, permanently it's Graham and Fabian RBR Elbers, who both of them, as I've already said, not here today. Another aborted lap for Ricochet, and we'll go back to the questions. GSR Axe says Square wins pole by 8 seconds over XRX and neither are racing. What a terrible prediction. Immortals P1 by 5 seconds, says Rampage Racer. And you never know, honestly. I can't deny that at all. And we go into the latter stages of qualifying now. The checkered flag is unofficially out, but it will be shortly as a tank slapper on the exit of turn 1 and an invalidation for Tax. And look at the traffic as the Alfa Romeo comes through. We've got Immortals in the background as well, as we've actually got people on their outlaps, so the timing is still very delayed. Common glitch from F1 2019 staying in place for this season. Is this Ricochet's third lap on these tyres? Because, yeah, it is. And he is improving. So imagine what he could have done with some decent tyres on that Mercedes. Really getting wide of the apex there. And across the line, goes up to 4th, second row provisionally. We've got Tax starting another lap as still the checkered flag has not come out. On board with Tax. Oh, I think he's gone wide again. He has. And there goes another lap for the Finnish driver behind him. Anyone finishing a lap? I think Rundle has no more left in this lap. But he might be able to get another one in, providing he has the fuel. Rumbly Fungus improving. The last 2 times he was improving, he'd invalidated his lap. Can he take provisional pole yet again? Oh, Tax going off in the middle sector, and I think that's him done. XR James, no qualifying lap set for the 2-time reigning champion. And now Rumbly Fungus into turn 6. Lovely line through there. He keeps it within the track limits and is 2 tenths up. Let's go to the leader. Sorry, that's not right, is it? Leader. He is 2.5 tenths, so he's got to find about another half a tenth in the final sector. Can Rumbly Fungus do it? Nice line. 4th gear though for the final corner. Peculiar across the line. Oh, so close. And we've seen mega close qualifyings in the past. 1,000th last season. And another close affair. 23,000 separating them. What has Rundle got? Can he respond? Across the line. Stays 6th fastest. And that might be it, you know. With GSR Axe reserving, Hannah has found pole position. And who could have predicted that? Because nobody did. 8th place for Sam Steed as we watch with him. But there we go. It's going to be Axe versus Rumbly Fungus on the front row. 2,000th separating Immortals and SV Tax. Ricochet 5th. Rundle 6th. KD Express 7th. Sam Steed in 8th with PFL Solberg 9th, Utah Elephant 10th in the Red Bull, Echoes Fatality 11th, Moore Island in 12th in the AlphaTauri, Aronok on 13th, XR James with no lap on the board, and then Big Chungus rounding out the 15 drivers that will race the Austrian Grand Prix here in LDRL. Welcome to the formation lap. Oh, and a spinner already as that tacks around. Poor traction off the practice start and ultimately the barrier. Luckily, no damage. For this, the AWS tyre graphic thing. What do you even call it in this game? It's just a lie more than anything. It says inters to inters if the race stays like this, which I don't think it will. Last season we had a very, very good Austrian Grand Prix when we got hit by rain at the end of the race. This time it's at the start. But it's all to play for, and who doesn't love a good wet race? We've been begging for one for weeks in Formula 1. And here we go. It's whoever gets the better traction off the start. There might be a bit of chaos further back, so I don't think Big Chungus made it. Sam and Echoes disqualified from the formation lap. They came together back in Bahrain Season 1, where it was ultimately the first end of the road for Echoes Fatality in this league. I'm sure many people do remember it, but yeah, it's not something that's preferred to talk about. If only we could have had those packed grandstands in real life. We have them on Twitch today. Thank you everyone coming and joining us this evening. Hope you are all enjoying your day and hopefully it's about to get even better. But I often jinx these things, you see, so, well, you never know. Axe's gearbox is feeling a bit special today. So he starts from pole position, and I'm sure Graham and Fabian will be very delighted that he might be about to get some massive points for Williams. They want to fight for this Constructors' Championship. Welcome to LDRL Season 3. The lights are coming on now, and unofficially... Oh no, we've got to wait for Chungus. It's lights out, and away we go. That might have caught out a couple of people as Ricochet gets a poor start in the background. Axe leads into turn 1. Rumbly Fungus second. Oh, touching there as Immortals goes off the track. It says Big Chungus is leading. He's not. Here comes Tax in the slipstream as well. Then Rundle, Brer, Moore Island, Sam, Solbergers. Look at all these cars going into turn 3. Tangling everywhere. But overall, not too bad considering it's a wet start to this race. Let's look further back then. Sam on Moore Island. No move on this occasion as everyone starts to now funnel past Big Chungus. Oh, there's contact there. Tax and Rundle as Tax is really struggling on the traction. Now in the racing point, KDX Brer will try to get past him but can't quite do it. Well, would you look at that for a start? Not too bad. And now who has the better pace. On these intermediates, there's another poor exit by Tax. He's really struggling as fake Big Chungus goes down the order now. It's a shame to see him like this, but yeah, that's not actually him in the car. As Axe has pulled away 1.8 seconds at the start of this race. And for the first time, a 50% race as well. Oh, and Sam Steed is gone. Seems to be a few connection mishaps here. It's a shame to have to look away from the action as now down the inside. Echo's fatality on Utah Elephant. Not this time round at turn 4 on lap 2. Sam all the way down to the back. I wonder if that's... Oh, and Axe is around! We flicked to Axe and he spun and Rubbly Fungus inherits the lead. What a disaster. If I remember correctly, it was Rizal last season who was running second, maybe even took the lead. Early on and as around goes PFL Solberg as well. This is not easy by any means as he rejoins the track, 14th place. Oh, he's really struggling to get going and he's around again. This might cause a virtual or full safety car for Debris. Ricochet ignoring a yellow flag. Did he overtake in those circumstances? And he's really struggling to get going and we are now officially green. And it is safe to continue. XR James up to 5th place. As a round is another spinner. It is Ricochet. That is 3 in the space of 1 lap. I need to invite Sam back again. So yeah, I will be doing that. And Big Chungus as well. I do apologise. Just a quick race update. It is... Oh, sorry. We're going to have to interrupt as down the inside goes SV Tax. And there we go. Immortals back ahead for now. Will Tax go for another dive bomb to retake P2? Not this time. We'll try and catch that back up on the next lap as I invite Big Chungus for, I don't know, how many times. Trying to keep you on board with Taxes is now under pressure from LSJ Rundle, and that's a multiple warning penalty for Tax, as he's got to look forwards and backwards as we race on here in Austria. There's a yellow flag in sector 3 and Ricochet is in the wall. Is that where Daniel Ricciardo went off? And oh, safety car deployed as Solberg around as well. We have the first safety car since Belgium in season 1. And this will stack them all back up. And crucially, for Big Chungus and Sam Steed, they can get back in this race. A rotten stroke of luck in a rotten race for these two. There was contact between Tax and Immortals, and Tax has got damage. He does not want to see that. The complete left side is gone. He's going to have to pick for more inters. Let's have a look at positions gained, actually. XR James being the biggest winner. Biggest loser, GSR Axe after an early spin. It will help him as well. He's on... You know, he's still very much in this race and can make progress. We've got Aaron Ocon running in P10. Something I don't think he expected. There's 6 people now in the pit stops. Let's have a look for tyres. They're going for slicks. They are gambling for slick tyres. This could be a massive, massive turning point. Let's have a look at the track. I think they might be right. This could either be one of the best league racing decisions they've collectively made, or not. Got Aaron Ocon now in 4th place. PFO Solberg a lap down. That is not what he wants to see. He might be able to unlap himself. Just reading the rest of the Twitch chat from earlier. Hart says I might give Milo my Twitch Prime sub. It's totally up to you. You don't have to. Oh, there might be contact there as Aaron Ocon looked down the inside of Echo's fatality as they're all coming in for slicks. But now XR James will take the lead, surely. As he'd already pitted, it is bone dry. It is almost bone dry, and he will not take the lead because Rundle has stayed out. That's probably the worst decision he could have made. What is he thinking? I don't want to criticise that too much unless he knows something I don't. But surely not. That's really bold and really wrong. I'm not sure if there's some sort of agreement here with PFL Solberg that he can try and heat up the tyres, unlap, something like that. He's really struggling, and so will everyone running those hards. They'll find it really hard to heat them up. Again, still fantastically appreciative. That didn't really make much sense of the positive viewership so far. GSR Axe about a minute behind, who had a spin early on from the lead of the race. He pulled out 2 seconds on that one. Yeah, now a minute behind on lap 7. You don't know what is around the corner of this race. Big Chungus. This is going to cause mayhem. This is going to cause real mayhem. Yeah, Chungus, unfortunately, if you give up with your internet, you're going to have to try and make an effort to come and retire, because under the safety car, this could go horribly wrong. Obviously, it's not your fault if your internet's playing up this badly tonight, but yeah, this could be catastrophic if there's no real action with this. Safety car is coming in this lap, so this is my point. Nobody can overtake us. Off goes Sam Steed. Was that his AI? I saw him in AI, and it's gone off. Yeah, cheers. That's a massive help if you can do that. And if you do retire, it'll be in the pit lane, because it won't cause any problems with the race. But here we go. As we start lap 9, we will start racing again. Is Sam's AI off again and out of the race? Double Mercedes DNF, and the last time we got the exciting privilege to say that was Austria 2018. Here we go then. Oh, as nearly around goes Moore Island as he struggles to get the hards up to temperature. Here we go. Which way will Rumbly Fungus go into turn 1? Will he make the move early? Yes, he will. Nice move there from Rumbly Fungus as he continues to look to challenge for the lead. Will KDX Brer make a move into turn 3? Not quite. Internet problems for some drivers in this race, and we might be up to 3 retirements soon if Big Chungus can't get the problem sorted. Nice slipstreaming here. And yes, he has retired, but that's still on the track, so hopefully that's not a massive problem. We've got Utah Elephant fighting Moore Island. And now Moore Island's under pressure again as the hard's not really working too well for him early on. It might later in the race though. Here comes Echo's Fatality. He moves across, but survives without damage. And again, wide goes Moore Island. And through he goes this time. What is up? He seems to be so slow. Now down the inside comes Aaron Ocon. He might go wide. No, he's just about kept it on the track. Still side by side. And here comes Immortals as well. We're going on board with him. Will he make 2 into 1? No, he doesn't. That's quite sensible, because that could have been quite a big one if all 3 had gone into turn 3 at the same time. Utah Elephant going around the outside of SV Tax, and he just gets around. Nice move from Utah Elephant. And Tax did what Hamilton should have done. Behind Moore Island now is Immortals on the same tyre, and then Rundle on the mediums looking to make a comeback. Then Axe on the hards, who's had to push a bit harder to catch up to the safety car. Rumbly Fungus was the quickest man on lap 10. As beginning to form a little bit of a DRS strain here. Utah Elephant 4th, SV Tax 5th in the slipstream. And then Echo's Fatality, Aaron Ocon, Moore Island Immortals, and LSJ Rundle. There's something bound to happen with this top 3. Oh. Was that Axe again? I think he might have been a bit slow. Coming up to turn 3. Is down the inside goes Rumbly Fungus into turn 4. KDX Brer trying to hold it all the way around the outside. Still side by side. They might let James get away if they're not careful. And a switchback from Rumbly Fungus is absolutely textbook if he can hold it. On the inside, there's contact. And wide goes KDX Brer. Oh, I give up. It was a fantastic fight, but they've given up the DRSs almost into the inside wall of the pit lane. And this might be the start of a downwards trend of pace for the Racing Point driver, who's given a fantastic effort so far. Let's go on to Immortals as he goes round the Red Bull sister team. They're still side by side, the 2 Honda-powered cars. And in the slipstream, LSJ Rundle. He darts right, darts left. Down the slipstream of Immortals. Oh, this gets contact and a big crash for Moore Island. And a safety car deployed yet again. Was he even anywhere near Immortals, PFL Solberg? Aaron Ocon, was he? Yeah, there's going to be a few penalty appeals by the end of this race, providing they aren't served. These guys will look to come into the pits for hard tyres, and this is what they were waiting for. A second safety car opportunity, that they can get rid of the softs. James dummies, doesn't dummy, comes back in again. And yes, SV Tax putting on the hards was a good decision. They're only 5 laps old, and he will take the lead. Everyone on softs, mediums as well. We'll try and stay out here. And like I said before, we had 2 safety cars in the 25% race at Belgium back in Season 1. Which is when we really start to feel the effects of how negative that patch was. Overall, it wasn't so bad in 50% races, but when we were running 25, it wasn't good at all. Especially in low attendance races that just got worse and worse throughout the season, and almost made me want to give up completely. Yeah, it was for the best that we turned that off for about a season and a half. It's back. There are still a few glitches, but overall I think it's better on than off this season, if you weigh up all of the pros and cons, which is absolutely necessary for running a league. If any of you are looking to try and build a little bit of a community, or you know, even social races, you've got to weigh up your options, and it could make all the difference. Assume we'll be behind the safety car for another few laps, and that allows everyone to catch up, and on mostly fresh tyres with a wet start to this race. Everyone now running on slicks. PFL Solberg still a lap down. I don't know if he's allowed to unlap himself yet. In real life, they would usually... Oh, has something happened in the field here, or is that Immortals just coming in for a pit stop, shaking up the order a little bit? And yes, I think it was. Oh. Okay. I'd like to hope that wasn't intended, because he was going for a podium today, and he did 1 lap on the hards, then came back in, and the game's put him on soft, so I don't think he'd be interested to continue, really. It's not what I wanted to see. First race of the new season. Few engine glitches here and there. Another common glitch from F1 2019 still in the game, and the safety car is in on this lap, and this time it's Tax that will lead us away, but he's been struggling with the traction from the formation lap, the first few laps on inters, and then didn't quite have the pace on the hards early on. And when will he go? The question is, will they be able to go to the end? Let's find out, shall we? Here we go. Tax can't really decide when to go. He's trying to get all the heat in the tyres possible. And away we go, full throttle, and into the final corner. We're racing. Oh, he's lost it. And I was just saying about the traction. There we go. I think Rundle's got an illegal overtake. Yes, he did. That was unfair, that was unjust. And as a result, he might lose a position here to Utah Elephant as he slipstreams up towards turn 3. Here goes SV Tax back up the inside on his former teammate in this league. And Rubbly Fungus with the switchback on the medium tyres. So he might try and get the mediums to the end of this race. I didn't really notice that too much. And this is going to be a fantastic strategical affair. Whoa, KDX rare. think that was his AI car driving, and thus looked a little bit unnatural. XR James with the multiple warning penalty will get to that probably halfway through this race on lap 18 to see where we all stand on warnings. GSRX resuming his comeback. Which way will you go on Utile Elephant? To the inside, the favoured line as the sun starts to peek out. They're wheel to wheel here. They're very, very good buddies in terms of setups, helping each other. You name it, they can probably find some way to try and link up in the world of league racing. Through goes Axe, little bit sketchy on the traction, but he is ultimately through. And are you telling me the leaders are side by side? XR James holds the inside, Rumbly Fungus on the mediums. Got more grip, he's got to try and conserve them if he wants to get them to the end of the race. But he is putting him under an awful lot of pressure. DRS enabled on this lap. And down the inside goes Rumbly Fungus at turn 1. Oh, this contact! And that could have been very, very nasty. As slipstreaming and an easy move. Tax in the slipstream as well. Will he get past XR James? Will he lose 2 positions in 1? Tax tries to hold it around the outside. XR James on the inside. Little bit of opposite lock on the exit. And he is through. And boy, what an exciting lap that was. And it's not finished yet. 4 cars in the train for the lead. If you've missed some of the action, we've had Ricochet struggling, then retiring at the penultimate corner. PFL Solberg having a few spins, ultimately triggering a first safety car where drivers took a gamble for slicks. As it was drying, it did work, but then a second safety car came out and neutralised us yet again. And those who went on to softs pitted for mediums or hards. I don't think that's right, AWS. They've just pitted for mediums. I don't think they want to go for another set if they can help it. Rumbly Fungus joking pre-race in the LDRL Instagram predictions, questions, that sort of stuff. If you did miss it and you've got any more, if there's another safety car or VSC period, I'll try and get some more in. Just go onto the LDRL story and I can do that. But yeah, he was saying, I'm going to win. And it may become reality. We're halfway through the race. SV tapped the time penalty for multiple warnings. I'm sure he'll want to appeal. Later on, I'm sure there will be a few penalty appeals, a few tickets for various incidents throughout the race. But overall, there hasn't been too much wheel-to-wheel contact. Most have been clean because they wouldn't be here if they couldn't race clean wheel-to-wheel. It's saying soft for a one-stop strategy. Again, I don't think that's correct. And now, even with all of this ERS XR James is deploying, he is barely in DRS of Rumbly Fungus, little bit wide there, just to take a second stab of getting the car turned in on the apex. Oh, and Rundle mid-corner had a snap of oversteer, and the back end has given up and taken him into the gravel. Very actually challenging corner. It doesn't look like it, but the amount of speed you start to carry in these modern games, if you don't have the right setup on, then you might be done for going through there one day. 1.2 seconds the lead has opened up to now, and you give Rumbly Fungus the lead, He knows how to keep it. He knows how to start controlling the gap. I'm sure he'll look to try and harvest a bit of ERS and save the tyres a little bit while he's just got out of the vulnerable range in the DRS. And what's helping him even more, that Tax is putting James under a lot of pressure. And a few lockups here and there. If there's anyone we've got to watch out for, it's Tax. And we've seen how much he's been sliding on this set of tyres as he gets another multiple warning time penalty. This is tyre wear. We can't see it yet. I'll just say yet. There's all sorts of little tricks you can do within the game now, and hopefully it's permanent in the future. Rundle with the time penalty. Axe up to third. He's in a legitimate battle for second. Maybe first here if he can clear these two and get on the same pace as Rumbly Fungus and start to chase him down. That's late braking from Axe. Very bold, that's what he needs to do. He also needs to get those mediums to the end. Fantastic exit from GSR Axe, the American driver, driving in the British Williams for today. Side by side with Tax. He holds the inside line though, and there's contact at the exit apex. But that doesn't stop GSR Axe from moving up into third place. Oh, Tax again. And this is what we've been saying. It's nervy every time he just gets onto a curb. Loses the back end. Oh, PFL Solberg. What has happened to him? I can't see where it is due to where he is on the track. And it looks like... oh, it will be a virtual safety car. A virtual safety car has been deployed for PFL Solberg crash. And now, because I said it, we can have a look to see if there's any more predictions coming through or responses. Me disconnecting, says Big Chungus. I think that's quite a late prediction. And that removes the point of it. But we're down to 11. KV Express still in AI. If he can come out of that, that'd be useful. Immortal's not in the session, so technically we're down to 9 in this race. Not what I wanted to be saying on the first time round, as we go green. After our third caution period. Here we go again then. Axe versus James. GSR against XRT. And wide goes XR James. Easy as you like for Axe. And then behind him, Tax as well. Can't quite follow closely enough. It's looking a bit of a struggle for him. Get the rears sticking to the track. And I wasn't wrong. Axe will now be chasing. Oh no, he won't, because James is up his inside. And they've wheel banged on the apex. And back through he goes, still side by side. A Rumbly Fungus and James moment, but this time it's James that gets forced out. He's trying to look back around the outside. And now he's starting to be a bit more aggressive. Now in the McLaren. But this is again leaving Rumbly Fungus with a bigger interval. As he sets a fastest lap despite battling. So I think we know who the faster driver might be. But he does have a time penalty. Let's have a look at some penalties actually while it's a little bit quiet. Rumbly Fungus has 1 warning. Fantastic effort so far. GSR Axe with a warning. Sorry, a penalty and 2 extra warnings. Tax, well, he's got 9 seconds worth of penalties and an additional 5 seconds. I'm just scrolling through them quickly here. And yeah, we're mainly focusing on what is the top 3, because on penalties, Rumbly Fungus is looking mint and is lapping very, very consistently. Echo's Fatality actually put in a fastest lap as well on fresh medium tyres, as he looks to start chasing after Aaron Ocon in front of him, who is on the hards. Let's go back to Tax, because he's sticking in the DRS of James, and his championship rival from Season 1. They meet again on the track. 11 lap old hards versus 18 lap old hards for James and Tax respectively. Whether we can get close though and really challenge properly, it's a whole different story. That was a wide moment for James. And again, it's flicked up a little bit of grass and gravel. At 25 of 36, about to be 26 of 36 in this first ever LDRL 50% race. I'd say it's been decent. You're always guaranteed a few extra game problems or, you know, disconnects, crashes. But overall, I think it's been fairly average and in some ways better than expected. Rundle has had enough of these mediums. I might go for some softs. Yep, soft tyres. Could take a fastest lap point away from this race as well. There's a yellow flag in Sector 2. It can't be. The reigning champion has spun around. I don't think he was under any major pressure from Tax. So I think he's just lost it on his own. Utah Elephant up to 4th. Might be able to start chasing down Tax. All dependent on tyre condition, of course. And remind you, if you do want to make these streams more, I don't know what the word is, better in the future, and hopefully give you some greater content from just by everything I do, you can always, now that I'm an affiliate, you've got options for bits, subscriptions. It's totally optional. I've never directly asked anyone to do it, so yeah, it would go towards this basically. There's no denying that. I'd love to try and improve the league, the way it looks, my equipment, for whatever happens next. Yeah. James is back in the DRS of Utah Elephant now though, who also got DRS by the ghosted KDX Brer, who is still in AI by the looks of it. Another wide moment. That was Moore Island picking up the penalty further back. He's now on the softs. And down the inside, easy does it. Just another day in the office for XR James. I'm not sure what's going on with him though today. Not to take away from the fact he's 4th place, that's still 12 points if he finishes here. But just the driving and the penalties and some of the moments he's had in the car, it's not turned out too well by his expectations. Here he is now trying to chase down Tax for a podium. Lots of penalties still though. Axe has penalties. He's starting to chase down Rumbly Fungus a bit, but I think it'll be too late if you consider all of the penalties and consistency that Rumbly Fungus has, and they're on the same theoretical wear of tyres, and that won't help his run for the lead. He's lost so much time after a moment of oversteer at turn 3. And again, oh, he's already had a spin when leading. He's trying to go for the lead again, and it's just not coming to him. Yeah, indeed, Aranok on the go in P6 at the moment, but it might not be for too much longer, as LSJ Rundle on fresh softs. Let's actually have a look at the fastest lap. Yeah, it is gone to Rundle. I didn't see it, or I don't know if it popped up, to be honest. But he's about to take P6 from Aranok on, and he's looking really, really confident on these softs. Another decent lap time, 106.1. Very good race lap time. It's going to be a big ask to try and go and get Utah Elephant. 14 seconds to find in 7 laps. We'll keep a close eye on that one. And Moore Island, 6 seconds behind. Aranok on is in his own chase as well. So there's a few interesting battles for the lower ends of the points, which is, wow, yeah. KDX Brev has been in AI for a lot of the race. I don't does that count as in racing? Not really. But he's technically 10th. He's technically, yeah. These AIs are gonna have a good battle. And that's probably the most entertaining thing we've got in the late part of this race. Oh, another moment there. Just had to slow down and control the car before putting his foot on the loud pedal out of turn 3. And there is Rumbly Fungus's first time penalty. So if we just go and have a look, yeah, warning on lap, 17, warning on lap 30, and then another warning on lap 31. So I think that might be down to the tyres just getting a little more unpredictable. Axe 3 seconds, still 3 seconds. They're actually level now. And if anyone's, you know, in touch with Axe at the moment, might want to let him know. Because this could be a proper race. Oh, excuse me. Oh, sorry. That. Yeah, I didn't even know I was going to sneeze then. Tax has a lot of penalties. So does James. 2 confident drivers. Not looking very confident today. Tax in the Alfa Romeo in this league for the first time. Returning for the first time since Abu Dhabi in Season 2, which I think was round 3. I think it was round 3. Yeah, must have been. And that's just off the top of my head. And James, another penalty. Right, let's have a look at Utah Elephant's penalties. 3 warnings on that one. Penalty. He's just got 3 seconds. James with 3. Where does it say? 1, 2, 3. Yeah, he's got more than that. I know he does. So, you never know, depending on how the gaps open and close, Utah Elephant could be on for a podium. And if you remember back to the thrilling race that was Canada Tier 2 last season, wow. Such a fantastic effort from him. Took a bit of a different approach and gamble on the strategy, and it didn't quite pay off. But still, quite a classic. In LDRL, his tax almost goes around, a little bit of lag, probably exaggerating that slide. Now this puts him under pressure from James properly, and there's a red X. So this is going to make this battle even more unpredictable. 20 laps James has done on the hards. That is a lot of lag, and I'm not sure what tax is now downloading. I won't ask. But yeah, it's creating a very difficult fight here. We're about to start lap 35 of 36. Rumbly Fungus 1.7 ahead of GSR Axe. Both on the same amount of penalties, with a 3-second time penalty each. It's up to Axe now to try and get everything out of the car if he wants to take the fight to the Ferrari driver on the final lap. More islands with a time penalty for multiple warnings. The gaps are so big at that end of the spectrum that penalties aren't really affecting too much. I've seen Echoes and Aaron go on to fresh softs, probably for a fastest lap gamble late on. And it's probably a good time to do it. The track is rubbered in now after the rain we've had early on in this race. Tax is still going and seems to be okay on the internet front, so I'm not sure what that was all about. A few issues here and there today. There is a yellow flag. Oh! Puncture! There is a puncture for Utah Elephant. And oh no, as soon as we were claiming that he could theoretically be on for a podium, his left rear tyre has has Rumbly Fungus got a puncture too? Rumbly Fungus has hit a puncture late on, and his chance of a win has gone. That is heartbreak. That is heartbreak. They took the gamble, and GSR Axe has got to be so tentative on this final lap. As up the inside goes XR James into turn 3. He's got the move done. Tax is forced out wide a little bit. And will Axe have the same problem that those two had? Because this is Silverstone all over again. They are gaining ever so slightly. Those tyres have got to be done, or it's not pushing at all. Rumbly Fungus may only take P5 from this race, although it all looked to be going his way. Echo's fatality with a fasted lap, but Axe may have survived, even though he looked like he was struggling the most out of the two leaders. He's been hit with a fortune as reserve driver Axe. An unlikely victory from the early stages of the race. Fantastic ending, but also heartbreaking. XR James comes home in P2, SV Tax 3rd, LSJ Ruddle into the final corner. Had a few strategy woes, but ultimately it pays off to P4. Rumbly Fungus has got to be trying to, I don't know what he's thrown across his room. But yeah, I can understand how irritated he is, if that is why he's crashed. And do not turn off until the checkered flag, because, yeah, that happens. A lot of drivers finishing the race on softs. It will be Aaron Ocon coming home 8th. And for Utah Elephant, you've got to feel for him as well. He was running in a fantastic P5 before a puncture let him go. And then Rumbly Fungus got one as well. I can't believe it. Wow. Who would have thought? Just going back to the predictions. Rumbly Fungus, I'm gonna win. It was looking that way. He drove so consistently and flawlessly. And he gets a puncture by trying to take... It was a fantastic effort to go for the mediums though. By far the correct call. And there we go. These are the results of the Austrian Grand Prix in LDRL Season 3. GSRX wins 45 minutes of pure mayhem. XR James in P2. With SV Tax 3rd and LSJ Rundle in 4th. Rumbly Fungus. Full prayers. Better luck next time, honestly. That was... so unfortunate. 5th place. Moore Island 6th. Good point tool for AlphaTauri for when GSR Asian returns. Echo's Fatality 7th. With a fastest lap. So that will be 7 points for 7th. Utah Elephant took it so slowly. When he had a puncture. Manages 8th. KDX Brer Immortals. And yeah, wow. Yeah, Rumbly Fungus says he should have won that. We can all agree, but unfortunately, time restrictions now. Yeah, not too much time. Hopefully, maybe next week we can, or via Discord or something, we can get to speak and provide something for the Instagram, because I'm really looking to improve that content. So if you're not following LDRL on Instagram, it's Low Drag Racing League. You know where to find us as well. And yeah, thank you all so much. The viewership has been excellent and a better first round than I thought. Felt a bit negative going into the season, but overall my spirits are quite high. We can have more races like this. This race will be on YouTube as soon as possible. This is why I try and get it done quickly. I'll try and aim for 10 o'clock. 10 o'clock it might be uploaded. Due to this finishing a bit later. I got it for 9 last time, but I think because it would take longer to upload, I'll schedule it for 10, and we'll do it that way. But yeah, again, thank you very, very much for watching. Make sure you do join us for round 2 next week. I actually need to check this because I forgot. I think it's Bahrain. It's got to be Bahrain without looking. It is Bahrain on the 9th of September, so hopefully you can join us then. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching. I shall end the stream very shortly, and yeah, see you soon.